Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ryan Cardinal, the Ryan Cardinal. I am the creative native, and today I bring to you not one, but two guests. First up on list, we have Marinus. We'll bring him up here. There we go.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, we got the creator of, let's pull this up here. This guy boy right there, BLACKHART Manor.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, man. Hey, thanks for having me here, by the way.
Oh, thanks for reaching out. It kind of lined up really good because the other creator that we have on later on around 1 o'clock or so is Jose Garcia. And both of you have what seem to be completely unique takes on the whole Lovecraftian eldritch horror kind of aspect. So it was really cool that both of you synced up for the show today.
Yeah. So it's going to be a horror-themed show, if I presume.
Hell yeah.
Lovecraftian horror, maybe that's the word.
Exactly. Very cool. So in case you weren't paying attention on Twitter, I flubbed up literally twice in my promo trying to get Marinus on. I accidentally put on the other writer, Gilbert, and JL, the artist, in the promo. But Marinus here, are you spearheading the whole thing, or like what's the whole angle between you three going on with this?
Well, starting from the beginning, I always wanted to do, I don't know, there is some time in your life that you wanted to do something, but you never can put your finger on it. And well, let me rephrase that. I'm a comic collector. I collect comics and read comics for 40 years now.
Okay.
And
looking good, man. You're looking good.
Thanks, man. It's the head, I think. Yeah. And the glasses.
Yeah, I do the same. I shave my head and like, oh, you look so young.
Yeah, well, I turned this year 50, so oh, God
damn, what are they feeding you out there?
I don't know. Not smoking, not drinking, I guess.
That would help.
I would say a healthy lifestyle, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of shit, man.
Oh, yeah. As I'm sitting here pounding back like a liter of coffee.
Yeah, well, I have some, on and on with going to the gym, etc. And now I'm doing, I reached out to a personal trainer because I have a job at a computer, at a desk. You know how it goes. Always eating, always drinking, not moving at all.
I'll give you and everyone listening here, because I know that we all sit on our asses 24/7 doing what we do. So sitting down is the new smoking. Apparently they did a study and they were just like, no matter what you do, if you sit down for more than 3 hours at a time, the arteries, the vessels, capillaries in your legs shrink by 50%.
Really?
And, yeah. So if you need to get up every 3 hours, walk around for 15 minutes, and it sets it back to normal. If you don't do that and you're sitting down like for hours and hours on end, like cab drivers get this, truck drivers, their legs will start to go numb. And that's because their nerves and their blood vessels are actually shrinking to a point where they could very well collapse. So just a heads up to everybody, every 3 hours, get up, walk around, have a stretch.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's good to know. Well, that's great. I then, reached out to a personal trainer, and I've been there for like more than a year, and I'll also do boxing.
Oh, right.
Weeks. Yeah. Well, before COVID hit, because
right.
The gym is now closed. So my personal trainer, hey, well, we can do it online. I said, what do you mean? Well, it's more like an exercise. You're doing something, but you're punching air, which is,
shadow boxing,
cardio.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you're not punching anything, but it's good for the cardio, and the personal training is just for muscle. Exactly.
Well, it's always good to have somebody there that knows what they're doing to guide you to fix the spots where like, oh, you're off alignment here, stuff like that. So
yeah, I know my weaknesses. I'm let's say for the what's it called, the New Year's Eve, then shops go closing, and then I thought to myself, okay, so I cannot, train a month or one or two, and then I'm doing it myself. Well, no. Somehow I think, I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Oh, it's always tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a person who always, you
put the pro in procrastinate.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right word.
Yeah.
So, my personal trainer keeps me on my toes, and it motivates me a lot. So I really appreciate his help, of course. And let's say I'm doing that once a week with boxing. So 2 times a week I'm training. to do exercises, and I really feel healthy. Have more energy, and my brain is every time going in overdrive when I have a idea that I want to put it on paper.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people don't factor in the whole point of having some kind of physical activity, especially when you're being creative. Like that helps unlock things, because you're not thinking, you're in the flow state, and when you're in the flow state, that's when those ideas will just pop into your head, and you're like, oh crap, I got to write this down now. Like
exactly, yeah.
Like some people get their ideas in the shower,
I always get them when I'm lying in bed. I don't know how it happened, because a couple of days ago, a creator that I know approached me for doing a project that I cannot talk about it yet, because it's all in let's say alpha state.
Yeah.
So I have to write things down, but my mind was going all in overdrive, and I thought to myself, "Shut up, brain! I want to go to sleep. Leave me alone." But I slept probably 4 hours or so. It's terrible. But the next day I'm just writing. Yeah. It's great.
It's in those moments you got to hop on it, like if you don't, it's like trying to hold water in your hand, like, oh, I got a little bit, but the rest of it just fell out. So
yeah, exactly. And then the next day is, what was I dreaming about again? What I wanted to do, and then it's gone.
Yeah,
and that sucks. So I need to write it down immediately and then expand upon that. And that's also the hard part, not only creating, but also creating a story. And that's what I did with Blackheart Manor. I just wrote it down, and I was, like I said, in a point of my life that I can dream all my life that I just wanted to do something with comics, because I stopped collecting and reading comics 8 years ago because I was sick of Marvel and DC, and I was a big DC Marvel fanboy at the time, but the story was going nowhere. And maybe that was, the decline of what's coming, because the whole cancel culture and what Marvel and DC is putting out for the last 5-6 years is utterly trash, in my opinion. There are some good comics, by the way. Then I'm not trash them, all of them, but the majority, when it comes to quality, the art, and of course what's going behind the scenes towards the public, that creators ragging on fans and writers, and I mean, what are you doing, man? You sell a product and you're gonna attack fans, and that was the line for me. And I don't know, I just always had the back in my mind that I miss comics, so I try to go to different kind of comics, like Boom, IDW, Image, and I must say, Image is putting out great quality comics nowadays. It's not maybe superhero that was my go-to to comics, but I expanded my taste, and I have surprisingly good Image comics. And let's say last year or the year before, I was going on to YouTube, and I discovered your boy Zach.
Yep.
And it brought me back into comics, into to crowdfund comics. So I joined Twitter. I followed a lot of creators, old, new, good, on the high tier and on the low tier. And I met with Gilbert, who did a comic that I backed. And I get in touch with him, and I said, "Listen, I got a story. Would you want to work with me?" And he said, "What do you got?" So I sent him the synopsis, and he was sold. And I was awesome. Whoa, what's happening here, right? And because he made a lot of comics, and that's been received very well. And he's a great, very passionate writer, and I really love that. I respect that as well. And we hit it off right away. And what I didn't know is that GL Jazz was also a Marvel artist. I said, whoa, really? Because I love this art, and he did a lot of work for Marvel. And so with the three of us, we collaborated, and Blackheart Manor was born.
That's awesome. It definitely looks like you have like a kick-ass project going on here. Let's take a little quick look at the trailer here and see how this all plays out. Let's make sure that we got the audio.
Yeah, looks great.
Hell yeah, and that's how you do a good ass trailer, man. That is badass.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you do the trailer, or did you have somebody else do the trailer?
No, I did. Someone else did the trailer for us, but the last part, the animation, I reached out to a guy who did a lot of stuff animations called Greg Rosenboom, who has a Dutch last name, but he's a Dutch American, and I talked to him. I said he did a lot of covers from old science fiction and horror novels and
Okay.
comics, and said, you would be perfect for our project. So I reached out to him, and he did the crazy ass animation of one of the covers. Looks sick.
Yeah, man.
Still impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole trailer is great. The music, the tempo, all that stuff building up is awesome. You do one of the things I think is very important with the trailer is sometimes some trailers, when you have the voiceover, it can kill it. But letting the music and the tempo and the artwork do its job, absolutely great for the project, because the artwork of JL is spectacular. The framing that he does is awesome. The framing that the editor did for it, the pull and the pans and stuff, excellent job. Killer trailer.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, we both thought about it, having someone talk over it, but then, I mean, it is important to us that we create atmosphere, and just like you said, there are some projects with voiceovers that is cool, but it also can break the atmosphere of what people are going for. And it's not really a criticism towards them. I mean, that's
no, not at all.
But it's more like, we wanted to speak, the art let speak for themselves in combination with the music and the frames, and of course the animation, the whole total package, and that people know what they are expecting. And there's I had yesterday I had a little update. We go from 40 pages to, as it is now, 43 pages. So we added some extra pages as well.
All right, so backers will like that.
Yeah. Because
and I see here. Oh, sorry about that. I see right here you are. You started in November. Are you guys in demand right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. You got 88 backers. That's kick ass. Unfortunately, I have you in Canadian there. Canadian pesos.
Problem. No problem, man.
Let's scroll down and take a look at this. You can walk me through your campaign here.
Yeah.
So we got the BLACKHART Manor collector perk.
Yeah, this is basically the package that I think is the best. That's why we do the feature perk. So it's basically the two covers, and I'm going back a little bit to the second cover as well. And we have what we call a retro print. So it's more like a retro movie print.
Yeah, it looks awesome with the nice stark black and red, the tentacles coming in.
Yeah. So when you go a little bit down later and scrolling through the campaign, and then on the bottom you see maybe a better picture of it.
Let's bring it all the way down to the bottom here.
Yeah.
Look at that art. There it is.
Here it is.
Yeah, that's awesome with all the detail on the inside there, all the horrors that are within the tentacles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Yeah,
the reason it's also retro print because BLACKHART Manor is more like a ode or a homage to 70s, 80s horror comics from like Epic and Creepy and a lot of horror comics that Marvel and even DC did. And we wanted to bring that back. Also, and it's in a magazine style, so it's not comic format.
Oh, okay.
Bigger.
Cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
It's really a magazine style.
Now, I grew up reading Creepy and Eerie, so is it along that size format?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
For those that don't know out there, the magazine format is, if you've ever read like Conan, Savage Sword of Conan, Conan the Barbarian, along those sides.
Yeah.
For the interior pages, is it full color?
It's black and white.
Oh,
with grayscale. Yeah.
That's awesome. See, I'm a sucker for black and white and grayscale comics, so I'm definitely going to be back in this then.
Nice.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's
the grayscale needs to be updated because I got an email with the new pages. So what you see here is just black and white, and I can show you some grayscale examples. So to get a better feel for it.
Very cool. Let's do the old slow pull down here.
Yeah.
You got a digital pack there, I see.
Yeah, $10. So you got just a digital copy for those who wants to save some pennies, but also want to dig into the horror stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now the digital thing, I know that John Malin speaks highly against it because obviously you want to sell the physical product, but for international orders, I know that this is a big option for a lot of people out there because as much as they want to get the actual physical copy, that shipping and handling can kill somebody, sometimes physically, but emotionally as well with the price. But the digital, it does seem to be a way for a lot of people to go, especially with the UK and overseas and stuff.
Yeah, I'm international as well, and I back a lot of Comicsgate and indie comics, so as Indiegogo, Kickstarter. But I always have to pay international shipping, which costs a lot. But that's me. I just like physical stuff, but I know a lot of people say, you know what, I cannot support you physically, but I would like to have the digitally. So you ask, we give.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have can you scroll up a little bit more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So also the digital pack for the two comics. The Deep Dark is basically the first volume of this Blackheart Manor is volume 2, by the way. It's not really a sequel, but it's more like a standalone, the first one.
Yeah.
But it opened up the universe that Gilbert and GL created. And I'm part of Blackheart Manor volume 2.
Nice.
So that's my story, my creation. And we're going to expand it, and you can get it for $15. So it's a little bit cheaper if you buy both.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
nice little value pack there for everybody.
Yeah.
And now we have the goods here with the original cover and the Virgin cover.
Yeah, I love the Virgin cover. I mean, we wanted to do a painting style cover, and also a Virgin, so there will be no logo on top of it. This is what you get basically. And because paintings are a big topic in the Blackheart Manor, paintings, mirrors, stuff like that, and also Gio did a fantastic job with creating the firefighters with the shadows beneath it, with the tentacles and the fiery haze beneath their feet, and also a shape of what's to come, and also Blackheart Manor itself with the creepy eyes and the teeth and the little details that's in there.
That's awesome. I just want to address the chat here. We got Sketchbook 340 in there. We got Mighty Mo Biggs in there. Let's see. Mighty Mo Biggs says a voiceover can kill it if they try to do the Christian Bale Batman voice, which many do.
Yeah. I mean, if they say, "I bought Blackheart Manor," that would no, that's not good.
Where is it?
Yeah, give it to me.
Let's keep scrolling here.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, though. I'm glad that you brought that up with the whole zine thing and attributing it to eerie, creepy, and those kind of things, because in my head, that linked up like instantaneously. I was like, oh, I know exactly what you're going for on this.
Yeah, and maybe there are of course some people that did not grow up in the 70s or 80s. That's cool, and that's why we wanted to bring it back, because from that time, although it's a cross between horror and also suspense and like Twilight Zone-esque stories all roll into one, and we wanted to do a full-blown horror comic. And the setup is very slowly, but when they are in the matter, shit is gonna hit the fan, of course. And I hope that those people who like or take a look at these comics and say, hey, creepy, eerie, what's that? Mm-hmm. And then take a dive into it, because they are gonna be surprised how good they are. Yeah.
Now, well, one quick question that I have for you with this,
Sure.
with Blackheart, because I remember very much eerie and creepy being an amalgamation of small stories. Is that what this is?
No, this is just one story.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that was one thing I wanted to ask, just because just wanted to see if it was in the vein of those stories where it's just a mishmash of weird horror and wackiness.
Well, we could have done that, but then we would have had more pages with probably different artists, and the book would be bigger but also more expensive. And since it's my first project,
keep it manageable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, My well of money is not infinite.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing with my first project, KAYAS. I was just like, all right, let's get this out there. And I was kind of crossing my fingers, like, just please fund and don't blow up, because this is the first time doing it. I don't want to like, oh crap, I have so much stuff to do. I don't know how to do it. But I was like, all right, cool. This is manageable. I can work with this.
Exactly, and that's why I'm happy Gilbert is here, because he done a lot of Indiegogo stuff and comics, so he knows what to do. And for me, when I was jumping into it, okay, what is Indiegogo? How does it work? And how is it with fulfilling, etc. I said, you know what? I'm going to create it. I'm going to create the story. If you want to do that, go ahead. So he did.
Nice.
And he's the one who's also going to fulfill in the USA, because if I'm going to do that, then I have to do come from my country.
Yeah.
And then probably it would be more expensive for people who are living in the US, because the US market is the biggest.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be fair if I did it from my home country and then charge more. I probably think that I lose some people there.
Well, I have noticed that with a lot of people that are overseas, they are doing the smart thing, and they are teaming up with somebody in the States to do fulfillment and printing, which Miriam, who did Bonds, that's what she's doing with Red Gaze.
Exactly.
And I think that's going to help her out big time. The artwork that she's doing is absolutely killer. Shout out to Miriam Bonds. If you're not out there, that Indiegogo project, that one's badass. I'm, like I said, I'll be back in that one too. I'm a sucker for like black and white, so anything that comes out like that, I'm just like fucking yeah. But yeah, and the other thing too is there are other options coming up there, because there are certain printers out there that understand that the indie crowd scene is way bigger than they thought it was a couple of years ago. And one of the companies that I did my printing with, they're called Comic Impressions. They are heavily getting into the indie comic book scene, and they're also doing fulfillment. Now I know everyone has their if, ands, or buts when it comes to fulfillment, because we've all seen it shit the bed, but apparently Comics Impressions, they've been actually a fulfillment company for 35 years. They have a very low price point on doing their fulfillment, and they actually do it with Gemini mailers. So right there, they already are ahead of the game as far as any fulfillment is concerned, because they know all that stuff. Because of the pandemic, apparently they lost 50% of their regular print volume.
Yeah,
but they picked it up immediately, and guess what? Indie comic projects. So where they lost it in one end, comic books came up and literally just like pushed them over the edge. And one of the good things with them, here's me just doing a shameless show for them. They have awesome customer service. They have a great turnaround time. It's 5 to 7 days to get your print file up and running. Upon your final file, you don't have to wait weeks. They have tons of printers on the go, and they also have a price calculator on their website, so you can go there and find out after a certain point, it will go to offset printing. It gives you the option of high-end digital, and their high-end digital isn't like the crappy digital that you've been getting years ago. This is like, you can't tell the difference. The quality is the same. Yeah, it's on point. And then if anybody who's out there, if you want, go to Comic Impressions, email the email that's there, and ask for a sample package. They will send you graphic novels and paper samples of stuff that they printed, so you can actually check out their quality. So there's a big tip to everyone out there.
That's great. Awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I think people will look more into indie comics now more than ever, I believe, since the decline of the big two, if I may ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I and since crowdfunding and the word is getting out, of course, from mouth to mouth, people discover that there are some great comics outside the mainstream. And for me, is that as well, because I didn't know what crowdfunding was. Well, I know what crowdfunding was, but crowdfunding comics, there was in my head also a stigma when people doesn't fulfill, run away with the money, etc. And of course, some people did that, but a lot of people don't, and you have to try something. And then all the books that I backed, I got a lot, probably $30.
Oh, that's awesome
right now. Yeah,
that's another thing too, is being consistent with putting your projects out, being consistent with staying in contact with everyone.
Absolutely.
One way or another. For me, I got my current excuse, which is no longer excuse, because I started up a tattoo shop, and that kind of fell in my lap at the beginning of this year. / last year, so I had to
Oh.
postpone the launch of my comic book because I had to get the tattoo shop up and running, which is still an ongoing process. But
Yeah.
I figured a good thing for me to get out there and be in contact with people and promote my project is by bringing other people on and helping them with their project. And
Yeah.
again, thanks for reaching out. Super stoked that you're able to come
Thank
on,
you
man.
for having me. Yeah,
Hey, no
absolutely.
problem.
I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I just want to quickly address the chat here. We got Black Rose Comics popping in. Tommy Sark. I'm bad at names. Don't worry about it. Sarkinen. And we got Darren Wagner in there. Hey, guys. Black Rose Comics. Let's see. Darren Wagner says, I bookmarked it the other day. Very helpful. Yeah. Well, Big's Starbucks doing something. Soy quality train. Oh, my God. All right. But yeah, let's hop back onto your project here. Let's look at some of these pages here. And this is by JL. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah, and I got the full version as well, so I can show it off a little bit later if you want.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So this is the start of the comic, basically. You see a burning building, but it's not really burning. Yeah, it's more like we don't know if it's can burn at all.
A spectral fire, so to speak.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
And then we see, of course, one of the persons that is in the book. She escapes, and then you see an apparition bursting out of the mansion. And I love this shot, that goes through the whole wood and stuff, chasing her, and also the tentacles that goes onto the moon, the spectral fire, as you will. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then he or whatever it is catches her, and she's being teleported away.
Ooh.
Magic symbols, and then we
Yeah,
have the hooded figure here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Sigils and weird, creepy hooded people.
Yeah, he's the leader of the Black Sunrise. It's a cult, by the way, for rituals. They're doing ritual stuff. And then we have Hans and Becca and Jacob, and they are training together in the firefighter station. And Jacob is telling to cover your face. I put the scene in here because, like I said, I'm boxing myself, and I, since firefighters always, need to be fit. A friend of mine is a firefighter, by the way, and I asked him, to guide me a little bit through it when it comes to equipment and the surroundings and the vehicles and etc. So he helped me a lot, creating the whole scene with the firefighter station, and I put this, boxing scene in here for myself, or because I do boxing. I said fun little stuff.
Well, it's always good to draw from your personal knowledge because there's stuff that that you can put in there and be like,
yeah.
Wow.
And boxing is hard, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny because I got a top 10 question thing coming up here, and we'll get around to that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the framing of this shot right here.
Yeah. Yeah, we see this is Jacob. He lost his daughter. She went missing, and basically the girl that is, escaping is his daughter.
Okay.
But he doesn't know that. She went missing, and the story is more that, the police is looking for her. They can't find her. And then one of the police members called Stokes, who is also a friend of Jacob, says, "Hey, Jacob, we cannot find your daughter." And Jacob is very upset because he was looking for a very long time. And he said to her, "Hey, listen, the city is giving you this place, this mansion, for training purposes, because it's also the last thing that we saw her." And so he's going there. And he sees his baby little girl in a photo. He's basically reminiscing. He misses her. He loves her very much. He don't know yet that she's still in there somewhere, dead or alive.
No, that's a nice tie-in too. Like you got the family thing going on there. The time has passed. Yeah. There's a lot of emotional weight to be had in that event.
Yeah, it was important for me that we have some very real human elements in there. Friendship, loss, family love,
Yep.
because Hans and Becca are basically becoming his family through the years. Hans is a student from Germany, and Becca is, or Rebecca, we call her Becca. She has comes from a very difficult family, with abuse, and they basically found each other in the firefighter team, because Jacob's wife died. He lost his daughter, so he's very depressed, and so they form like a real good bond between them, and that shines through this whole book as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's not only pure horror that what we are seeing later in the book. Well, I cannot show you the pages, unfortunately, because that's the good stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's a mix between emotions, real life story, and eldritch horror all rolled into one.
Well, that's one thing with horror that is tricky to pull off sometimes in comics, and I think you hit the nail on the head with a certain aspect of it there, is that the emotional weight, the actual characters of them, if you don't have that tied in, you don't get the actual horror going on with them when it does happen, or the spectacular when it happens. And it definitely feels that the way that you've set this up, it's like you're setting up the nice chess pieces, so there's a payoff at a certain point. And
exactly,
it's like you know how to write or something. I don't know. It's a strange.
I don't know.
Yeah,
doodle something and something pops up. I don't know.
Yeah. I love this shot up here with the tentacle, ghostly in the window there.
Yeah. Stuff is coming soon. And listen, maybe I can share the screen, then I can show some stuff.
Yeah, go for
it. Let me see. I'm doing this from my laptop, so bear with me.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll just address the chat here. Hey, chat, how's it going? Let's see, what do we got? Let's see, bookmarked it. You have to be especially careful with tattoos in your lap. Yeah, that's true. Oh, really? Do tell Mo, because I have no clue on that one. Didn't come from personal experience. Mo Biggs is sus. Bro smokes crack, but he doesn't inhale. Here, let me show this here.
So,
nice. Oh yeah.
So the grayscaling pops it more, with the flames instead of the black and white. So GL sent it to me, and it looks way better.
Oh yeah.
Way cooler. And wait, why cannot move? Then I'm good. Well, and we had some difference with this scene as well. Not only the grayscale, but the second, leader of the BLACKHART Manor, or
nice.
The cult, as you see here. That isn't on the Indiegogo page, so we need to change that. So that's really cool. More to come. And this is some unseen art. And like I said, there's a lot of with paintings. They
windows to another world, so to speak.
Exactly. So hey, who is this and who is that? That looks familiar. So they are moving up, and they are going to go to separate ways, because they were investigating, and the other people here are just members of the fire team. And Hans is hey, you go up, I go down, and then he discovers something, and then we see here the leader of one of them.
Oh, look at that decrepit looking fucker right there. Look at him.
Yeah. And this is
awesome.
Oh, you see nothing yet. And can I show this a little bit more? Zoom it a little bit in. Sorry. Come on. That's not what I want. So, oh, wait. Why didn't I think of that sooner? So he was the one outside, catching it. So he's going slowly back to the mansion. And you see here the little logo. Well, that's also the logo of the Call of the Void brand of BLACKHART Manor. And I mean, it's more like it comes a little bit back through the whole comic, and it has significance. And we see more about this fella later.
Nice.
When the book is done. So I'm just going to stop sharing. So, sorry for my bad English. I mean, I'm not a native English speaker.
You're doing fine, man. Doing better than I do most of the time. So.
Oh, really? I don't believe you. But thanks for the compliment.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Hey, we got Travis, aka Snake, in there. How's it going?
Hey, Travis.
Let's keep scrolling down here. And we got some of the perks. We got that print going on there. We got the PDF package. And I thought this was kind of cool the way that you did it here in the falling tier of like, 10, and as you go down, you see all the bundle together. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's important for me anyway that when I go through a comics a tier or a Indiegogo campaign, no matter who does it, it must be me clear what I'm going to get, because also I see a lot of Indiegogo campaigns that throws a lot of imagery and numbers and comics and covers, 4, 5, 6, 7 covers, and I thought, what am I getting? Which is the one that I should choose? And I think if you're going to do it like this, it's clear.
Mm-hmm. No, it reads well. You literally got the number plus what you get. Yeah, really, really like that. And I like the way that he did it in the cascade as well. I've seen people do it before where they'll do it in tiles and it kind of stacks on itself. And I find that kind of mentally confuses people because it's just in a grid form. And for some reason that messes people up. But this is, straight up so clear. Like you would have to be, blind as a bat not to understand what's going on here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you see here the Call of the Void logo from the comic.
And then we got the team here.
Yeah. Gilbert, he does a lot of he did Lair, he did Pistolera, and he's also doing now Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, Grom. Great fucking book. I mean, it's Star Wars in space with capybaras. I mean, what more do you want? It's great stuff.
Yeah. The most chillest of animals on the planet.
Yeah. I didn't know capybaras. I thought, what is that? Are they real? And then I, Googled it, and then, Jesus Christ, they're giant rodents.
And they're so laid back. Like, even other animals are just like, I guess I'll just chill with these guys. Like,
yeah. They also chill with crocodiles, I saw. I said, what? Crocodiles? Yeah. Bizarre. Really cool. Yeah.
Well, that's totally awesome, man. Well, your campaign looks kick-ass. Like I said, I'll be back in this just because, like, I'm an absolute sucker for black and white. And if you guys out there are not on it, the link is in the description. You can definitely go check it out. And we are in demand. And we can definitely... now, how long do you plan on being in demand for?
Well, we try to fulfill March, April, late March, maybe April. It depends because GL is more than halfway done with the art. So the last couple of 20 pages, but we added some stuff as well. So probably a little bit later, but not too much. I hope, because I hate being late with comics. And I know things always happen when it comes to COVID, because the problem is with GLs, he comes from Spain, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And COVID hit there really, really hard. Where I come from, I live in the Netherlands. There are some victims and casualties, but not as much. We are pretty safe, but in Spain, it's a mess. The whole island is probably infected or something. It's bad.
That's
so
rough.
So it slows a lot down, and I feel for him. But I hope people, how do you say? What's the word I'm looking for? I hope they understand what's going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's where I'm at right now. I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia, and because BC is pretty spread out. Like in Vancouver, that's the highest densely populated area.
Yeah.
Even here, as quote unquote dense as it is, everyone still has enough space to oh, okay, you stay over there, we're all good. Everyone's keeping on point, But even in the summertime, like everyone was just kind of like doing their own thing. Like it was
weird, isn't it? Yeah,
it was weird, but at the exact same time, because I've been paying attention to it, I want to see how everybody's behavior is affected.
Yeah,
and everyone is just kind of like, okay, we're gonna roll with this. We're gonna do what we got to do. And when they pulled back the first wave of lockdowns, everyone, because we got all our reports, but like, if you need to be open, here are the guidelines. And a lot of us were just like, because I work in the tattoo industry, I looked at the guidelines, like, we do all this stuff regardless. Like, this is what we have to do. The only difference is,
Safety.
the only difference is, wearing the face mask, and a lot of artists wear the face mask anyway. So it was like, okay, you stopped us for nothing then, pretty much, if this is what you're insinuating.
So what is then the situation where you are living now? Can you do tattoos, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Personal services are available to be open. Restaurants are open to sit and dine in at limited capacity. Suggested takeout. Let's see. Certain gyms you're allowed to be in. Again, certain number, certain distance, and I think that they're suggesting no high interval training. They might have pulled that back. I'm not too sure. I usually check every week or every other week just to see if they implemented new rules. They just put on a new travel restriction, like, because everywhere is broken up into regions now, so they don't want people going across the regions. So,
right. Yeah. Well, that's better than where we are. We have a full lockdown. Past 8:30 in the evening, nobody is allowed to go out anymore, and only the supermarkets are open. That's it. No shops, no diners.
Damn.
No hair. That's why I'm wearing a hat. I haven't been to go to a barber for 4 months.
So you just got some wild growth going on there, eh?
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
I feel like a beetle, man. My hair's
I got the mop top going on.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you always can buy some clippers, man, and just do what I do. Just
well, I'm not ready for that yet. I did that once, by the way. I did that once. When I was, I don't know, in my 30s, 35, and then I thought to myself, I get I shave my head off, and then, but because I have a very small face and very oval, like an egg, I looked like a junkie that sells drugs. So I don't know. I know eventually I'm going bald, but as long as I can, put that out for a very long time, I'm going to do it. Then, I grow my hair.
Yeah, hold on to it as long as you can. I bug my kid. I bug my kid all the time because, like, you inherit the genetics of hair from your mother's side. I believe that's how it goes. And on his mother's side, the grandmother has very, very thin hair, and I'm of native descent. That's why it's the creative native.
You're good, man. You're good.
Well, let's put it this way: you never see a bald native person.
No, now that you think about it, that's true.
You don't. And the other thing is, you never see a bald native person with a full beard. Unfortunately, we can't grow facial hair worth shit.
Well,
it just looks like spider legs trying to escape.
Well, that's the problem we do. I'm almost hairless. When I try to grow a beard, I always have those, weird
patches
that doesn't grow hair.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine. He used to get so mad because he can grow this like bitchin' mustache and awesome mutton chops, but right here, nothing. It would never connect. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, another friend of mine, he has also the same kind of hairline you do, but he also has, a bald spot on the top. And I have, my hairline is how do you say here?
Yeah.
It's getting bolder and bolder. I get that from my dad. My dad is, from the side, it's all full, a little bit on top, and that's it. So I think I'm going, go that way in the near future, but I hope I don't.
Well, you can always go for the transplants like Ethan wants there,
Oh yeah. Does that really help? Does that really help? I don't know, man. It sounds expensive, like $4,000 or $5,000 or something.
Yeah. Let it like go a couple more years, man. Who knows what they're going to be able to do? Like, it'll be like, here, put this paste on your head and just.
Gross.
Yeah.
Some hair growth stuff. Throw some seeds on there, right?
Yeah. I don't know if there was this like old TV show out here, and it was called the Peanut Butter Solution, and the whole thing was it like you put this magical peanut butter on your head, and you grow this magical hair. So this one kid put it on his nuts, and he's in class, and like hair starts growing out from under his shoes, and he's like, "Oh my god!"
Well, I think that's better than the Gorilla Girl.
Oh my god!
Fiasco. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a sticky situation.
Oh,
no pun intended. I mean, how crazy must you be putting glue in your head?
Well, she made money off of it, so.
Oh yeah, lucky. Yeah, she's now instantly famous for doing something stupid. God. Yeah.
Everybody gets their 15 minutes, you know.
Yeah, indeed. Exactly. Yeah. Now, when it comes to I wanted to talk a little bit more about the comic. What I forgot to mention is that when Hans and Becca and the team, you see that they are going up the stairs. So there's something evil and living in there, right? But there are some other creatures in there. So the deaths is what you're going to see is visceral, graphic.
Okay.
So there will be no PG-13 stuff. What you see is people getting ripped apart,
Yeah.
head split open, something like that. Cannot go into details, but it's going to be a real horror.
Horrific.
People in real danger. The Black Cult is going crazy. There is stuff with paintings that I cannot reveal yet. Let's say there's something from the past into the present. There is mirrors. Something is in the mirror, or you can go through the mirror. And that's all I can say. I want to say so much more. It's always,
I know.
Oh, God, man, it's just on the tip of my tongue. Should I reveal this? But no, I cannot say that. But I can, throw a little bit snippets here. But then if I talk about that, then people will think, huh? Mirrors? Painting? What are you talking about? That doesn't excite me at all.
Yeah,
So,
but I know exactly what you're going with this.
Yeah.
No, I got the vibe for it for sure. And that's another tricky thing with these campaigns and doing these kind of shows is as the creator, you want to tell, but you have to keep enough of it in the bag so when people read it, they get excited on the stuff that you didn't reveal. So
yeah,
it's always a little that balancing act between show and tell.
Exactly, because the pages that you see here on the campaign is what people seen a lot. Mm-hmm. So the other pages that I showed you is new, but since it's only 43 pages, I cannot go into very much detail.
Yeah.
So I hope take the plunge, and if you like what you see, you won't regret it. It's great stuff. I got a high quality artist. I got a great writer. The story is by me, and like I said, what you see here is also what you get. It's fantastic. We got two great covers, great black and white with grayscaling. We try to finish on time. If we are a little bit late, sorry for that. But we're gonna fulfill, and everybody will get the book in perfect condition. I promise you.
That is awesome. That's the things that everybody wants to hear on these campaigns. And you're doing it. Now, one of the reasons I like black and white is because you get to cut out one of the steps, and that's the colorist. Sorry, colorist. Yeah. But I find for the stuff that I'm really drawn to, the black and white stuff, it just helps speed up the process of the project as well. Like, you are doing grayscale, but you're not going in there with tones and color matching and make sure that the print is going to come back. And it's grayscale. It is what it is.
Exactly. So if you see the grayscale that you saw, that is how it's going to be, look like in a comic.
Hell yeah.
And you got a lot of, big pages because it's magazine style.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to fit great on the shelf.
All right. Well, I'm going to, since I'm new to the whole interview thing, I'm going to break into something here that I'm going to be doing I'm testing this out. So you get to be the guinea pig. So
okay, give it to me. I'm European. I'm very open.
All right, Marinus. So I'm going to do kind of like a top 10, kind of rapid fire, and you can just answer them as you go here. So first one is, who are you and what's your origin story?
Me personally?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'm Marinus. I come from the Netherlands. I am 49 years old. I've been collecting comics since I was 7. I stopped, like I said, comics because, of the whole shenanigans with the big two that I explained. What I love about comics is the escape from reality. I dove into comics because there was some hardship in my life, and comics make me escape that. Also, I deal with the hardships in my life later, but at that time, I just wasn't. I was sucked in comics like European comics like Tintin, like Asterix. And then it came the Fantastic Four, and then came Superman, and a whole new world opened up for me. The problem in my country, comics is not really a big thing. So I always felt like an outcast, but it didn't stop me from, going into comics and, from there my fantasy is going wild. That is also why I'm doing this. Not only, I want to make a book. No, I wanted to create something that people like, that I like, but also, something that I want to do for myself for a very long time. Because when I have those comics in my hands, and I said, okay, this comic, I remember every detail from like 20, 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It made an impact.
Like I guarantee everybody that's in the chat right now, we can think back to those comics and we can flip through those pages in our brain. Like we're all like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and like I said, I stopped collecting comics, and I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe it's my age. I'm getting old, and comics is not for me anymore. And they always told me, well, comics is for kids. Don't do that. And it always happened. I had an itch in my brain because I always come back to the thing that I love the most, and that's comics.
Yep. And we're all like that. Like we, at somewhere, it all struck a chord with us. And deep down, we've all been circling that comic drain, just like we're going to get there eventually. We're going to do our thing. Next question. Not that one here. Ooh, this one. How do you stay organized when doing these projects? Like what?
Organized. That's a tough question.
Yeah. Or how do you not stay organized?
Well, I think that the last one. I mean, I'm very an impulsive person, but also I'm also a very passionate person. I'm when I go do a project, I'm gonna go all in, and I'm not gonna stop before I get it all on paper. The problem is with me is that we have an ending. I always think, is this the best I can do? Can I do better? Is this the best I can produce? But will people like what am I doing here? What I created? Will people see what I see? So that that gives me some doubt, but at the same time, I'm going for it, and I'm 100% sure that people will love this. But going back to the question, I'm not very an organized person.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one here. What motivates you?
Oh yeah, well, I mentioned that before. What drives me is art. I've been on Twitter for like a year, and I just share comics, but also sharing art nowadays for the last couple of months, a lot. So you can find me on Twitter, Darksiders Comics, and it's art from different countries, not only from the US, but also from Brazil, from England, from Italian, like Mobius. Mm-hmm. There's also a comic that he's passed away. Is called Don Lawrence. He made Storm and also the Trigon Empire. It's his art is like oil on canvas.
Okay,
it's frequently fantastic. It's about an astronaut that goes into and some like an anomaly is around Jupiter. He flies into with a spaceship, and he comes back in the post-apocalyptic world, but not the post-apocalyptic world that you and I know from television and comics. No, it's a mix between science, old science that has been like 40,000 years ago, but he knows exactly what it is. He knows that's a plane, but the people are living there think that's a magic tool or something.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's gone so far into the future that it transcended into magic, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what motivates me is reading comics. Getting inspiration the whole time. So I'm reading a lot of comics, and then I have this idea in my brain, and then I need to write it down, and then I'm going to read another comic from like an Spanish author or something, or reading a book like Conan or John Carter of Mars, and then I get inspiration from that as well, and I'm going to write that down, and then I'm going to blend it all together.
Nice.
Yeah.
So a nice amalgamation of everything that interests you. Comics.
Yeah, interest is a little bit too broad, unfortunately. So
are movies in there, novels in there, anything like that?
Yes. Okay. Yes. You can think of I'm a big fan of 80s science fiction. Mm-hmm. Like Terminator, the original one, Alien franchise, but also the lesser known, like there's a science fiction movie that I still liked. It's called Enemy Mine.
Oh yeah, yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think it's a very underrated movie, and it's a great, fantastic emotional ending. Although the special effects, don't help anymore. But
they're 80 special effects, so you get what you get.
Yeah. Escape from New York, with Kurt Russell, Tron, mostly those kind of movies.
Yeah,
Everything
classic.
that has science fiction and special effects in it. Also, like barbarian movies like Conan, and also the sword and swords medieval movies. I was a big fan of like Excalibur from the 1980s. Oh man, that's such a good movie. Yeah.
Nice. So with this project, what have you learned from problems on this project?
Problems? You mean what I shouldn't do,
or just what have you learned along the way where like, oh, this is a hiccup, or oh, I didn't expect this to happen?
Pacing and flow is also is a hurdle.
Good call, because horror is a different pace altogether.
Yeah, because if I go, watch a horror movie, you don't care about people who are the stars of the show. You want to see people die. That's like Saw movies, and the first Saw movie and the second one, and maybe also the other ones. People die in the most horrible way. Although some of these movies have been done good, but if you say Nightmare on Elm Street, I was more big of a fan of Freddy Krueger.
I think we all were.
People who are getting slashed. But there's also good horror movies with great protagonists, and I can make a comic book like this and have some only cannon fodder, but that isn't interesting.
No.
It's maybe a movie that's maybe a quick fix, and with comics as well. But when it comes to comics, you have to build up to something, and then you need interesting characters.
Yep.
Do they die or do they live? Do you want them to die or do you want them to live?
Yeah. Or do they become somehow the dead weight that's dragging everybody down, kind of a thing? Like there's so many different ways that you can play with the pacing in this format too. Not only with the storytelling, but even in the panel layouts and stuff like that. Like there's so many different ways to utilize time, essentially.
Yeah. So, and then, basically you have to all, mash it into 43 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But my story was bigger than that. So I have to cut the loose ends. And I had a very hard time to pulling out those little bits that I thought, but if I remove this, people wouldn't get this. So I had to restructure some storylines to, have a good flow.
Yeah, nice.
Have a cut out of it.
No, and that's super important as a writer. Some writers do not take note of that. They don't pay attention to the fact that you have something this big, but you only have a package this big. You got to make that this.
Yeah, and Gilbert helped me with that. He overcome that hurdle for me, so I'm very thankful for him having on the team. Yeah,
oh, that's awesome. That's some really good insight there from learning on the project.
Well, he did a lot of. He's a good writer, and I learned a lot from him. So yeah,
that's awesome. Next question we got up here is: what research do you do for your projects?
Oh, watching a lot of horror movies.
Pretty straightforward on that one, eh?
Yeah, and horror comics. I always go back to the roots, I guess. I mean, sure, you can do a slasher from the top of your head, but the origin comes always back, for me anyway. I cannot speak for everybody. From where it all started. What was your passion from when you were younger? Are you Fast and the Furious? You want to make a comic book about cars? You go back to car movies, although probably Fast and the Furious is a very bad example. But let's say other people, other action movies like with Jason Statham, when he's driving through Paris in a fast car and you have the quick cuts. Yeah. That is something that people will remember and say, "Oh man, do you know that scene in that movie? That's so great. I want to implement that, something like that in my comic." But on the other, also, I want to do something other than what I see on screen, because when you think of Lovecraftian Eldritch, you think of tentacle monsters. Sure, there's something here as well. But
I also think of hentai when I think of tentacle monsters, because I'm a man of culture.
Well, let's say the inspiration for me with the monster is Berserk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Berserk has the most crazy, outlandish horror monsters that I've seen in a comic. Well, of course there are many, but there's Berserk is my go-to anime, and I did a lot of inspiration when it comes to creating the monster. So I do not want to have the the slimy tentacle that comes from the sea. Also, it's Lovecraftian. It has to have a base, and where it comes from. But we do Lovecraftian in a different way.
Nice. Let's see. Next question we got up here. What tool wouldn't you do without? So what's the thing that you need to do your project?
I need to have quiet. Yeah, I can, let's say I'm a very social guy, but when it comes to inspiration and create it, I have to, lock myself up for a very long time to, not that the inspiration is not coming, but I'm just keep going and going and going. And then I'm going to pick out the elements that I don't need and then, push it and push it and push it. So the tool is rest, solitude.
Yep. I find with writing, especially when I'm doing thumbnails and plotting and stuff like that, same thing. I need it quiet. Like I can't have, like I literally will send my kid off to his mom's place. I'm like, you got to get out of here. I can't have you like playing games. I need quiet to actually think this through.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pull up the next question here. Next one is, what have you done to improve your knowledge as an artist/writer in the last year?
Asking professionals, asking people who know what they are doing, and also have the courage to reach out to those people that you think, well, that person wouldn't talk to me anyway, so why bother? No, you just ask them. And sure, there are people who doesn't reply, but there's also people said, hey, come over on the stream or behind the scenes, and I gonna explain to you. There are some people on Twitter, in Comicsgate or outside Comicsgate that are actually willing to help new people like me. And I'm forever grateful. I mean, one of those guys is Red Gaze. Red Gaze is a great guy. He helped me a lot. Vinny Totamella, he's doing the Kraken book. Yep. Awesome. So a lot of people, give me tips and advice what to do and what not to do. And, build up your audience, mm-hmm. When you go on Twitter, interact with people, let them know who you are, be polite, don't get into fights, unnecessary. Although you can disagree with people, yep. That's not okay. But don't yell at people, call them idiots, bastards, or whatever. Don't curse.
Essentially, we've been given the guideline on what not to do by Marvel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything Marvel is doing now, I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, building up a fan base. Oh man, it sounds so weird saying that. Being a fan base. People who like my stuff and are back in my comic or in my corner. I'm very grateful for to them, and they are my audience. And for me, it's very important that I listen to what they want, and try to talk to them. If they have questions, they can DM me. I'm willing to, have a conversation with them.
That's sure. Awesome.
I'm very open.
We're coming around to the last 3 questions here. So sure. If you could go back in time to observe an event, what event would it be?
An event? Can you give me an example?
Let's say that you exist out of time. You don't interact with anything, but you can go back and watch the JFK assassination and see who did it. That kind of thing. Or go back to ancient Egypt and see, an actual war go on, or absolutely throughout any time in history, go back and observe something. What would it be?
Oh, wow. That's a very interesting question. I haven't thought about that. I have to think about that. Well, I always wanted to go to Woodstock. Although I'm not a hippie guy, and most of the music I really don't like, but the event there with so many people with the same mentality, having fun, no violence. I think I wasn't there, just enjoying music, like you go to a concert, but then 100 times bigger.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
That would be cool.
Or maybe the launch of the rocket that goes to the moon. Something like
okay.
that.
Yeah.
That was an historical event.
Apollo event. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's pretty obvious. What themes do you pursue?
Themes. Well, maybe obvious for you. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, for me, it's obviously horror is a theme that you pursue.
Oh, so yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, horror, science fiction, fantasy are my go-to.
Nice.
I rarely watch movies that hasn't had some kind of fantasy element in. When I watch a TV show, it also has, like Lord of the Rings. It's not a TV show, but movies like that. But also, I'm expanding my horizons. I love. I'm going too much on the other topic. So those themes: horror, 80s, 70s, some 90s, horror, sci-fi. I think, yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. And we got the last question here, and we got the last question right after that. We're going to bring on our next guest, Jose Garcia. So last question we got, what is your typical day at work? How does it start? What do you do?
Okay. How does it start? Well, when I pick up the telephone, because I'm working in a branch I'm doing roadside service through the telephone. Yeah. Not only that, I how do you say, when there is, I have a lot of, how do you say, work in different areas. But let's say you have the normal day is, I have a breakdown, and then we fix, we send a mechanic, and then the car gets, you have a flat tire, we're gonna help it. But also the weird thing is, when you have an accident, we're gonna call the police, fire truck services, ambulance, etc. When you are skiing, you break a leg, we send a helicopter. We talk to the insurance, we get transport for you, etc. Those are like 50% of my work. What I had a couple of days ago, there was a guy who had a rental car from Sixt, and he called me. Hey, you need to get some help. I said, oh, what's going on? I'm trapped. I said, what do you mean? I'm trapped. Are you in your car? Can't you get out? No. I'm trapped in the parking garage of the hotel. They locked me in. They had the. They said, why are you calling us? Well, this is the only number I have on my card, but there's also a number somewhere that you can call the hotel itself. So, and he wouldn't hang up, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna call it. Don't worry. And
yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Some stuff like that, and people who are getting stuck in snow or in the mud. There's no day that is normal. Let's say, look like that.
Okay.
We have some aggressive people. We have some cool people. We have some people with humor. So overall, my job is great, but also, yeah, it's great. I have a great job.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, Marinus, if you want to hang out, I'm going to bring on our next guest here. And coming up onto the stream, we have Jose Garcia, theoretically,
Jose.
If he's here. He might have taken off. He might, I don't know. Is he drinking? Taking a drink? Jose, you there?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, man? Sorry for bringing me on there a little bit late, but
no worries, man.
Doing the questions. How you doing?
Yeah, real good. I just had lunch with my girlfriend, so I just came running to the stream, hoping it wasn't over yet.
Oh, no. It's a pretty relaxed chill stream. Oh, thanks for reaching out, man. Saw your stuff on Instagram and as well as Twitter. Stuff is looking pretty kick-ass, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
And if you didn't know as well, because I believe that your stuff is very Eldritch horror and Lovecraftian inspired. Am I right to say that? The fact that both of you reached out for the same show, it links up perfectly because you seem to have similar interests.
Well, there's a little bit of a story behind that because I talked to Jose a while ago, and because I was had an idea that I maybe want to do with Jose.
Yeah,
so I reached out to him, and that's we get in contact. But I didn't know that he was launching his own campaign, and I heard he's a very busy guy, so I probably have to wait.
Yeah, I'm a busy guy.
I see that Jose has Lumina VHOX coming up here, but you also seem to have another project down the pipeline as well.
Yeah, it's Junior Luna on Indiegogo. Yeah, that project is already finished. It's 280 pages long, and I'm
Wow.
already coloring it. Yeah, it only took 3.5 months to draw, and I'm coloring right
What?
now. Yeah, people are, get. It's a little weird coming here to Comicsgate and all of that because I've been in a really um, high pressure, environment where all deadlines are like really, really, um, really, really tight. Like I come from DreamWorks, from Netflix, from I
Now,
work on BDs on France. I work on comics on the US, and I've been mostly on the indie scene. But I always juggle about 4 to 10 projects at a time. Right now I'm juggling six or seven books. I think next week I'll have the first 4 finished. And yeah, so I'm really used to working nonstop.
now with the other projects that you're working for the big guys there, are you working as a comic book illustrator, or are you doing storyboards or animation?
A bit of everything. With DreamWorks, I was working as a visual development artist.
Okay.
But you do, props, your character designs.
Yeah. I used to work in
environment.
animation for a couple of years too, so
Oh, cool.
I know
That's
exactly
awesome,
what you're
man.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I also do storyboards. I did for Voltron, for Kung Fu Panda, for How to Train Your Dragon. The last thing I was on DreamWorks was called VeggieTales with
Oh yeah.
Olivia and Elisa Ceballos. They're awesome, and well, I've been around for a while, Cartoon Network and that, doing the same stuff. And yeah, for comics, I do everything. I think I never been paired with other artists, meaning that I do everything. I do sketch, inks, colors, and sometimes lettering. So yeah, I do everything. And in DreamWorks, I used to do some animated storyboards. You can see in that page, you see where there's the portfolio menu.
Oh, at the top here,
portfolio.
top, yeah. Pop. Yep.
And there's the storyboard section. You can
click doing the animatics and
yeah, that's actually from Lumina VHOX. That's how the story began. You can click there and you can see all the animation and all the character designs and stuff. And Lumina VHOX came. I'm a teacher. I teach. I teach everything. I teach from beginning from basic drawing to perspective to comic to storyboard. And Lumina VHOX came from this for my first course of storyboard course in Mexico. So we were just making tossing some ideas, talking with the students, and we came up with Lumina, and we did all the pre-production while we were on class, and all the storyboards you saw, we did it in class. We did the class, so that was cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, man.
Wow, this is incredible.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, this is definitely bringing me back to working in animation, where you would have all the background checks and all all the different angles and all that kind of stuff. The character designs, the color palette. Yeah, man, this is awesome.
Color palette, yeah, and some character studies.
Yeah, I could definitely tell you know your stuff inside and out.
Yeah.
Especially working for those guys, because you're not allowed to sit at that table unless you're able to swing for the fences. So
yeah, I know, man.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, you know what I really like about your art, Jose, is your backgrounds. There's a lot of comics. Yeah, I read a lot of comics with the protagonist looks great, but there's also a lack of detail when it comes to the backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this. You're so much backgrounds and I think, oh, man, it's so good. Do you have an attention to detail? You know how to, buildings inside and out, the armor and the costumes that you are doing. It's utterly fantastic. Your designs are great.
Yep.
So if I saw a couple of pages of what you are doing, there's so much in there that I have to take a pause to look what's going on there. And that's, for me personally, I'm a sucker for detail. It's
Thanks
so
a
good.
lot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really taken a lot from manga and from European comics, from BDs,
Yes.
because I buy a lot of comics. Last year, I think I buy from someone at eBay like 300 trade paperbacks from DC, from Batman, Superman,
Wow.
and I'm almost finished reading them. But the thing with the American comics, I mean, I like them. I'm a really, really big fan of Batman. But the thing I don't really like about them, it's the pacing of the stories.
Yeah.
I don't like the pacing because, especially the fights, because the fighting. I've read like
One
of
Punch Man.
those-
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. One Punch Man, it's the best right there. In comics, I mean, I've seen like 3 of the most epic battles in comics, say like the Death of Superman, versus Doomsday, and in my opinion, one that was very hype was like the World War Hulk versus the Sentry, and Invincible, when he fought with Conquest, and those are the most lengthy fights I ever seen in comics, and they are only like 6 or 7 pages long, and that's really a downer, man. Because
You're speaking my language, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like once you get that taste of the manga pacing of action, adventure, and fights, like
you cannot go back, man.
You can't go back, man.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna take literally 4 chapters to display just this fight, and you're gonna be enthralled the entire time.
Yes,
and you're gonna,
man. And I mean, I like comics to some extent. I mean, I wrote with them, and I really love some stories like No Man's Land from Batman. That's one of my all-time favorites storylines. And I mean, as much as I like American comics, you go to the European market, and almost every single artist there, it's like an animator or has worked in animation on some at some point. Like one of my most favorite comics from all time, I think I have bought it from like 3 times. It's Black Sabbath from Juanjo Guarnido.
Oh, and so good.
Black Sabbath is incredibly, awesomely good. It's all done in watercolors, and if you see the attention to details that Juanjo has, I mean, I think my stuff gets left behind, like way back in the horizon.
Black Sabbath is frankly almost too good. Like, we almost don't deserve it for how good it actually is.
That's the perfect comic for me, man. I mean, all the Skydal, Black Sabbath, everything Enrique Fernandez has done. And, I follow a lot of guys, Chris and all those guys, Mobius, Grelin, what's this guy's name? Bengal. All those guys are really awesome, and they have incredible attention to the detail, to their backgrounds, and that's where that came from. And also on manga, like One Punch Man, like there's you only if you see the backgrounds on that kind of stuff, it will blow you away. And Berserk, man.
I got that one too. The Meta Barons.
The Meta Barons. Yep. That's was that from Jodorowsky? And I don't remember the artist's name.
Phil Jimenez, if I believe.
Oh yeah, Phil Jimenez. Yeah, he's
Jimenez,
awesome.
Yeah.
And I think there was. I loved an animator. He kind of teach me how to draw backgrounds every time I went to San Diego Comic-Con. I went to bother him with my portfolio to tell me what was I doing right or wrong. And this guy was working on this superhero comic called, I think it's called Supreme, something like that. It was from the Wildstorm era. I kind of forget his name right now, but I will tell you if I remember. But this guy worked in animation, worked with Disney and all this kind of stuff. He was only doing backgrounds for this one comic, and I took notice of that because, I mean the characters and the backgrounds didn't really match. I really noticed that they didn't quite match the style. They were two different inks
qualities.
Yeah, man, and I started work every year. I walk past by his table at Artist Alley. I got all my stuff, and he really teach me a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, you don't have to ask the 10 questions anymore, man. He spilled it all.
Oh man, I got different 10 questions. It's all good, man.
Cool.
I came up with separate 10 questions for each of you. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, man, absolutely love your stuff. What really caught my eye when you kind of came onto the scene there was the black and white, all the Eldritch Horror stuff that you posted, where you kind of had like the God hand a little bit.
Yeah. That was on my other project, Ginger and Luna.
yeah. That looked really freaking impressive. Is that one going to be all black and white, or is that one going to be colored as well? Or
it's going to be black and white and color because. Are you familiar with Hunter x Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm taking the idea of the Dark Continent to Ginger and Luna, where there's this uncharted continent out there, which is it's not like your typical shonen that it's just you gotta fight to be the best to be the best fighter, to be the most powerful. It's like you need to survive nature, and you can measure nature, and it doesn't matter how strong you are. You can win a fight against nature, right? So Ginger is the main character, and she's out there. And for some reasons, I'm gonna put out a preview. I was debating whether if I upload a 65-page preview or if I don't. I some people have told me that it's too much. Some people have told me that it's too little. Some people. So I'm just weighing down my options.
65 is a whole comic, man.
It's just the intro of my comic.
Yeah. Yeah, I find with the CG crowd, everyone seems to be fine with 48 to like 64, 72. Then they're just like, "Yep, that is awesome." So
yeah, man. That's why I didn't came off right off the gate with Ginger and Luna because I mean I'm a new guy. I'm really a nobody. So if I put out a 280-page book, nobody will really, trust me that I can deliver. I mean, there are some people that can't even handle like 80-page book in 2 years or something, and I get it. But I mean, I have most of the work already done. But I've been talking to a lot of guys, and they say, well, people won't trust you until you deliver something shorter first.
Yeah, your first project, get it out there, get it in their hands, show people that you can do the work, you can deliver. From the looks of it, you have quite a bit of this all ready to go. So
right now I'm just doing 1 page per day because I'm working on, as I said, like another 6 books.
That's so nuts, man.
Well, I need the money, so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. Hey, I'll say about the 240 page. You say not only that, you have to get in account shipping costs. I mean, 240 pages heavy, especially international. People will put off that. I mean, Miriam from Bonds has asked me the same question. She came to me from, hey, I've got over 240 pages. I want to release it, and then all, including myself, cut it into pieces.
Yep.
Sell the first book,
Yeah.
See what the reception is, and then go to volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, etc., etc.
That's pretty much the exact. Yeah, that's pretty much the exact format I'm going with. My project KAYAS is I'm doing 64 page and then 48 page, 48 page, and then once those comic books are sold, those floppies, once those 3 issues are done, you're not going to be able to get a floppy, and it'll all be collected into like a manga-sized graphic novel. Exactly. That way, if you miss the previous ones, and when issue 4 comes out, there'll be a bundle to get the manga-sized digest and the next floppy issue.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought of that, but the thing is, my story is based something like Gantz, where you will have like 120 pages with no dialogue, just fighting.
Yep, the pacing. Yep.
Yeah, the pacing. It's like I'm really taking my time with those characters. So yeah, I mean, just the intro, it's almost silent. The 65 pages, only 4 of them have dialogue, and it's an action scene, and that it's the beginning of the story. So I think people wouldn't really like that much.
Now, yeah, I know exactly the style and pacing that you're going for, and I completely get why you're doing it in the thicker book, because you're not going to be able to get across in a smaller book.
Yeah, man. No, and there's a lot of there's like 100 pages in between the book, where between major story beats happen. So I'm just developing the character. I think you should have as much as time with their characters so people start to like them. So originally this was a 600 page book, the first volume, and I have to chop it down to 280 for the first volume, and 320 for the second volume. And that it's not even the beginning of the story, because the characters Ginger and Luna will eventually meet at volume 3, and that's where the story
really kicks off. Nice. Yeah. See, like because I know as you do, manga pacing is completely different, and sometimes there is a quote unquote, it feels like a slow burn, but it's not. Like, stuff is happening. But then out of nowhere, like Berserk is a perfect example. Like, you're reading this like Band of the Hawk, all this stuff, and then the eclipse happens and it turns into what Berserk is. And it takes so long to get there. But when it happens, you're like, oh my God. So I know exactly the pacing that you're going for. So
so that's what I like, and that's what I work. I decided to get a work in animation to get all this pacing, to study all this pacing, all this feel. And since I'm a storyboard artist, I'm really used to drawing a lot of stuff. And the pacing, it helped me a lot working in film and animation. Because one of the things, getting back to the fighting scenes, the Superman scenes, that 7 page, that's the most epic in comics. And you go to manga, and I mean, on Berserk, only the where when they are introducing the God Hand, when they introduce Slan, they use 9 whole pages just to introduce her.
Just the introduction, showing her hips, showing her hand, and then finally, man, it's super funny, because like I do feel that there's a lot of people who read Western comics that don't get manga. Like there's a disconnect there, and it's all about finding that one thing that helps you bridge that gap, and you understand how the storytelling is. It's the only way that I can express it is, to me anyways, Western comics feel like I'm watching an event, and manga feels like I am there in the event. If that makes sense.
Exactly, man. So that's why my comics are kind of lengthy, and I understand it won't be for everyone, but whoever is willing to take this journey with me, you will be I think you will be delighted with everything I have in store, because I will take my time with these comics. Even Lumina, it's Lumina VHOX, it's gonna be there's gonna be. I'm treating this like floppies, like little issues, 80 page issues,
Mhm.
where I have like these story bits that I want to, um, I want to see these story bits in the first volume. In volume 2, there's gonna be these story bits, and I have that all planned, right? So I will try to expand on those moments, on that pacing, to give you very emotional moments, because I think the build up it's incredibly important for all these kind of for all the reveals, even for just showing an emotion. I think double spreads and splash pages are really really important to conveying how important
An event
some
is.
yeah, an event
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah. One thing that I do like with the pacing of manga is like everybody knows about the page turn. You do the page turn when you're supposed to have the reveal.
Yes.
With manga, there seems to be that much more impact with a page turn and a page reveal. Like I'll use a silly one here. I was reading One Punch Man, and it's a scene where Puri Prisoner gets a phone call from his ass.
Yeah.
And then like, because he's buck naked when he fights.
Yeah,
and you hear this ring coming from his ass, and I'm like, is that where he? And you turn the page, and it's the one time that I've seen almost nearly animated quality in a page turn and comic book, because the timing and speed from that page turn to you going up and him having the phone to his head fucking cracked me up so hard, because you could literally feel it from like ring and then hello, like
yeah. And Yusuke Murata is it's an animator at Toei Animation, so you know where he's coming from.
Oh yeah, they know what's up, man.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw that. Apparently, Netflix is now.
Oh,
yeah, there it is.
Yes.
the God Hand.
Yeah, the God Hand.
So cool.
Yeah, you got the nice big deluxe version there too.
Yeah, I got 6 volumes so far.
Hell yeah,
6 volumes,
700 pages. The deluxe edition is, well, you need to get it.
Yeah,
I believe it's $40.
I only have up until 5. I didn't knew 6 was out.
Yeah, 6 was out, and well, maybe in my country, but probably in yours too. Yeah. 6 is out. So, and it's bigger than, of course, the normal manga, who is probably like this.
Yeah,
that's the normal manga, and it has probably, I believe, 4 or 5 stories rolled into one, and in white pages. It's great. It's big. Definitely recommend it. I mean, look at this. Nope, crack.
Ooh.
You see it?
no,
Yeah, man.
That's fantastic. So if you if you like Berserk or dark fantasy horror comics, this is the way to go. Hardcover, by the way.
And Dark Horse is putting out also Helsing and Blade of the Immortal right now on that same size.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just got Blade of the Immortal today.
Nice. Yeah, my only issue with Blade of the Immortal is how rapey it gets.
Yeah, well, Berserk has a course, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the artwork in both of those are just utterly ridiculous. Like in Blade of the Immortal, it just looks like he either takes a pen and just starts in one corner and just.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Lumina VHOX here. How long have you been working on this project for?
Well, I've been working for about I've been on the pages. I've been working for about 2 weeks now, maybe 3. I have already 20 pages to show, but I've been working ever since I had the idea on my. We came up with the idea on my storyboard class, so it was always there. I really want to develop an IP. This was about 2 years ago, and I really wanted to develop an Eldritch kind of idea comic, and at first it was supposed to be a silent comic. There was supposed to be no dialogue. Um, but I didn't really when I came to CG, I didn't really think that people will like that very much, silent comics. So I kind of reworked it about last year, and just now my contract with DreamWorks, with Netflix, all of that have my contracts have ended. So I decided to go with all of my original IPs, and this was one of the first. I was incredibly excited to do this because how often do you get to draw monsters, actions, fighting scenes, and all that cool stuff? You know.
That's awesome. You brought something up there too that I wanted to touch on. What brought you to CG? What was the earmark things? You're like, oh, CG's got some cool shit going on. Let me get in on this.
Okay, so for those who don't know, well, I've been trying to get my original comics for all my life. Basically, all my life, I've been wanting to draw my own stuff, and I was unable to. I mean, I have had a lot of failures. Before CG, I tried to pitch these books to some publishers. I mean, I went to first, second books. I made a book with them in order so I could get the good faith so I can pitch something. And yeah, they didn't really like anything. They said no, it's too long. It doesn't have the social issues we need, or something. Yeah, it sucked. So I went last year. I went to Webtoons. I started working with Webtoons. They pay me to do some stuff, and I tried to pitch Ginger and Luna to them, and yeah, they are really heavily editorialized. So they wanted to turn my horror monster survival story into a lesbian adventure, lovely adventure. So yeah, I mean the pay was really good because they were paying something like 1,000 to 2,000 weekly. So that was really nice, but I will have lost my story. So yeah, that's
I also saw something. This was a while ago too. There seems to be a disconnected Webtoons where you show your artwork and the promotion team actually does not really communicate with the artist, and they might accidentally drop the ball on something that's supposed to be a big reveal in the book. Because apparently they did this recently with some artists that was building up to this big event, and when they went to go do the promo, they literally showed the big reveal in the promo, and she was livid. She was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
like,
that happens.
I spent years building up to this, and you guys blow it.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, so like that right there, I was just like, obviously there is a complete disconnect within that company between advertising, the artist, and everyone in between.
Yeah, I mean, having working with them, you need to be like really, really tight with your editors. They supervise everything, but there's often more than one working with you. I mean, I had two editors for the stories I made, and one I was working with this girl, this Asian girl, and she was really nice, but she always gave me, like, can you be more progressive? Can you put more
Really?
LGBT representation? Yeah, and okay, yeah. I mean, I didn't mind at some times because there were some background characters, so it was like, okay, yeah, I don't really mind. That's cool. But then after I started finishing pages and panels and stuff, there was this other guy who was in charge of the featured guys, and there was a disconnect between them. The thing that made me, rethink my partnership with Webtoons was that after I deliver all my pages, all my stories. This guy, I work. I kind of work along with this girl, and we made the stories as best as we could.
Mhm.
But the other guy who was in charge of publishing them, he actually deleted entire pages. They start cropping up panels, and
Oh
they
shit!
did yeah, they did a incredible mess. So you go to the stories on webtoons, and people don't understand the story because those were silent stories, and people are confused because there's like 20 pages missing from this, there's like 10
What?
pages, yeah, man.
Oh
And
my god!
yeah, and that really sucked for me because I really want to tell that story, those stories.
Yeah, that's completely kicking your feet out from underneath you as a storyteller. Like somebody
Yeah,
coming in and just hacking and slashing your stuff, and obviously it's not going to be conveyed the way that you meant it to be. So
yeah, man. And there was this one story where there was supposed to be kind of some memories of the main character, and they totally they changed the order in which they appear. So it was supposed to have a flashback at the beginning and then at the end to tie the story up, and they completely erased those. So they changed the complete narrative of that story. So
wow.
yeah, I was very pissed with them. And then there was the the marketing team that was another. There were another guys. I think they were on LA, and you have to pretty much with them if you want to upload anything to your social media.
Hmm.
So you have to ask permission to
So
I'm
you
gonna
got
upload
no
a
control over your stuff
no
essentially.
no, not at all, man.
So obviously with all of that, and you look over at CG and they're like, "Oh, you can just do your thing."
Yeah,
that,
man. Yeah,
that looks awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Okay.
okay. I'm sorry. You were saying?
I said, be more progressive, Jose.
Oh
Why
yeah,
don't you
no,
work
no,
with
no.
us? Are you a bigot? Are you a racist? You must
Well,
hate
they
women, right? So she's not a lesbian, so yeah, you're sexist, right? God,
man. Well, they never
That's
dared to call me a bigot because, well, I'm Mexican, and they were like, "Oh man, yeah,
well,
Yeah,
then you
they
go
got-
wrong next time, Jose.
They got the checklist and they're like, "Oh, damn it, we can't
I'm
do
kidding.
that."
yeah,
I'm kidding. No, it's crazy. I mean, it doesn't matter if she's lesbian or straight, but all those people, pushing their agenda on what to enforce a vision that is not yours. That's
Mhm.
terrible, man. And you want to create something great and that fits, that you want to show the world what you can do and what is a great story, and then all those people, putting away, well, okay, we're going to change this and we're going to
oh
crop that.
yeah,
Okay, well, she's not black enough, then that needs to change. And then the story that you are creating is not your story anymore. So
yeah."
why?
It didn't feel like my story anymore when I saw
Right.
them posting them. I mean, it was nice having like 40K view per story. It was lovely to see the positive comments, and it was uplifting for the first 5 minutes, and then I kind of forgot everything when I saw
Then,
they destroyed the other
yeah,
stories.
5 minutes later, you're like, "Motherfuckers, you changed everything."
Yeah, so that's why I came to CG, man. I mean, I've been trying to do this all my life. I mean, I have made crowdfunding before. I have another book, a 120 pages book already printed from a campaign I did in Mexico. But the thing is that people in Mexico don't really trust Indiegogo or Kickstarter until they see that thing printed. They won't really open their wallet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that was I should have seen that coming, but I was naive, and that was one of my failures. After that, after
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
It's not a failure. It's a
no,
learning
it's not.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a learning experience. Yes. I mean, I have my book. I have like 500 copies left, which I will give. I will put them on the Lumina and the Ginger and Luna campaign, so
Oh, that's
they
awesome.
can
So you're going to be able to do a bundle package with those.
yeah, I'm gonna do
Oh,
a
that's awesome.
bundle right off the gate.
Hell
And
yeah.
And what kind of
uh,
is that? What comic is that
It's
exactly?
called My 8-Bit Story. It was a comic I did like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I think there's
Down here, I
yeah,
believe.
down there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, that looks
Oh,
fucking
there.
awesome. Look
Yeah,
at
that
that.
looks great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Oh, hell.
that comic both bugged my kind of by my way into DreamWorks and into First Second Books, because I was selling this at San Diego Comic Con, and a headhunter from DreamWorks saw this comic, and she bought like 5 or 6 copies that she just gave away to all the other guys at DreamWorks. And yeah, that gave me a job. Like a week later, I was working at DreamWorks,
Hell
and
yeah, man.
yeah, man, and I
Yeah.
got this book in front of one of the editors of First Second Books, and she just saw it, and
And that's what
yeah,
got you to this one, right?
on the spot. I was hired on the spot, so it was really awesome. But that's a little bit old. But yeah, I mean, I had some experience doing crowdfunding. I did one before. I did 2 sketchbooks before, when Indiegogo still accepted PayPal, so you could do it from anywhere in the world. So that was really cool, and it was kind of it was kind of a shock after some years. I had experience with Indiegogo being worldwide, and then all of a sudden you can only make your campaigns from some selected countries, and Mexico is not supported, so I had to ask for help for that. And I mean, that's why I have these pages, these pre-launch pages on my own site, because I didn't have anyone who will help me support my campaigns, that host my campaigns. So that took a while, but I didn't want to, I didn't want to get left behind. Meanwhile, I was looking for someone. I just decided to, do my own stuff, do my own pre-launch, and start looking for my audience, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring up the fact that you have your own website set up like that, because I think this is one thing that a lot of people in CG need to hop on. Is yes, we do have the launching soon page, and we do get emails from that. But I think it's also super important that you get your own website, have your own mailing list set up that way. That way, you always have something to point back to at any point during the campaign. You'd be like, if you want to sign up to the mailing list, sign up here.
Yes.
Oh, I think my cat's trying to enter this like a cameo.
Well, that's a big.
You guys want to see my pussy? Big and furry. There he is.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Dexter, you're on TV. There you are.
His name is Baxter.
Dexter.
Dexter?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. There's your pen.
From the TV series, or?
You know what? My kid named him years and years ago. It's not like we let him watch serial killers or anything like that. But he just came out of the blue when we got him. He's like, oh, let's name him Dexter. And I was like, well, where did that come from? Because he didn't really watch Dexter's Lab or anything like that either. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So I was like, all right.
Oh, that's cool.
I was with a friend and I saw some stabby TV series, and it stuck.
The name stuck, just like this knife.
Yeah. Great.
Man, yeah, I really like the look of your projects coming up here, Jose. Like it's freaking killer, man. Your artwork is like for the fact that it's cartoony, it's still bonkers. Like,
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a kind of I wanted to enter CG like about a year ago. Maybe I don't know. Whenever Jaboy Sack put up that video where he was asking for a submission from Splato, I did send him some stuff, and well, he rejected me. So I kind of I think it was 2018 or 2019. I tried to join in the CG community, but yeah, there was a lot of backlash for my style, so I kind of backed down for a while, and I just returned last year. I think I have a lot more serious stuff coming, but yeah, the first time coming to CG was like, that's a really shitty Tumblr style. Get the hell away from here. That's not real comics. Comics have muscles. Yeah, so that was
Someone,
weird.
someone in comments said that to you?
Yeah, it's still happening that some at some degree, but yeah.
Well, I will personally vouch for you. I know exactly
Yeah.
all the angles that you're coming from. I know that you're a manga fan just from like simply looking at your stuff. I know that the story that you're trying to tell because of the pacing and the length of it, like I know what you're trying to do. So,
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
good to know.
yeah, okay. You have a cartoony style, but your story is very mature. I mean, it has Lovecraftian, and the art is fantastic. You have crazy monsters like in Berserk, and that's something I like. You have crazy backgrounds, uh, fucking cool colors. I mean, those people don't know what they're missing. They probably are used to a certain style, like superhero style or something, and yours is maybe to them. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just not filling in the blanks, but I'm filling in the blanks. I'm sorry. You have an alternative style that caters to more like manga, and
Yeah.
there's definitely an audience for that. I mean,
yeah, the CG manga group, we are out there. We are growing. Like we
Yeah,
are slowly getting bigger.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of cool manga guys like Niriam and
Yeah.
Liam and Odie. They're impressive. Kyung Lee.
Kim Lee, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's awesome.
there's an audience out there, man. Don't worry. You don't change your style just because a couple of guys said so, man. Just be yourself and do whatever you want, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the. I mean, after I just released, I've been released from all my contracts. I'm here full time. I've been. I mean, all these 6 books I'm working, they're all CG. So I'll have like maybe 6 to 8 books coming out this year. Maybe I don't know if they decide to post them this year or maybe next year. That's up to them. But yeah, I'll be around doing a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of covers, and CG Crowd has really chilled out a lot. So I feel most welcome this year, last year, than 2 years ago, to be honest. And
Well,
that's cool.
things were very volatile a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I did notice.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I mean, I have my contracts, so I wouldn't have been able to deliver at the speed I'm doing it right now at the time, because I mean, I had to juggle DreamWorks. I was working with Comixology originals, and I was teaching class. So yeah, I will have just been able to pop 1 or 2 books a year. But at the time I said like, okay, it's cool, but I don't really have the time to start talking with people, to go to streams and all that, because as you may know, it's incredibly tiresome.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I get tired a lot after a stream, and I have to just
Decompress a
black out.
bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully this stream isn't too taxing on you. I'm not grilling you too hard,
No, it's really cool. It's really cool. This chill stream. It's really
I love
cool.
this as well. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And it's on a time that we that's cool for us. I mean, Jose is living in my time zone. You're from Mexico, right? Or
Yes.
Yeah. So how late is it at your place now, if I may ask?
Right now, we are close to 4 p.m. There's 3:54 right now.
Yeah, I'm at 1 right now.
I'm sorry, then we're not living in the same time zone.
No. Okay.
It's
Well,
almost 11 p.m. It's 1 hour from midnight in my time zone. So yeah.
Yeah, we're so far apart, man.
I don't know how Mexico and the Netherlands is the same time zone. I don't know.
We got Darren Wagner in the chat being like, I wish I had Comic Blast. Oh man, what a monstrosity.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Jose, I think I'm gonna talk to you later, and I'm gonna reach out to you, man, soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, man. I really dug the Groken piece that you did there, Jose. That thing was badass, man.
Wow, yeah, I didn't know it was for you until I
don't think many people got the reference.
Oh, I did. Fucking, I was cracking up.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell was the Kenneth Rocafort story at the time, because when I started doing that broken piece. He didn't have like anything of use on his page. He didn't have any pages. He only had the cover on his campaign. So I didn't know what the hell what was that all about. But I think I thought that the character looked real cool, and then he popped out on Ethan's stream, and he started talking a bit about more of the story of the project. But I was already working on that piece before that, so I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. And I just
well, anytime you do it, I was gonna say anytime you do a JoJo mashup, it's gotta it's it's always good.
Yeah.
And the character really does look a lot like a lot like Killer Queen, in my opinion. So that popped right out of my mind when I saw that.
Can I ask how long are you doing on let's say a cover or a one page? How long does?
Yes, I usually do 4 pages a day, every day.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's just inks. Yeah.
Damn you, storyboard artists, so quick. Damn you.
Well, the thing is that, I've been doing this for 14 years now.
Yeah.
I've been working nonstop since I was 18. I am 32 right now, but I've been doing this all my life. I've been, and the thing with going into full CG, it's that I tried to come here at my best, which means I had to pay all my debts. I finally finished paying the mortgage on my house and my mom's. So I'm completely free to just
dive right in.
Stuff. And don't worry about anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, man, your art is stellar, man. I just look at these pages and just look at it, and it doesn't seem to stop somewhere. I mean, even here with the space on the background, the colors on Lumina VHOX, it really pops, and it's really cool.
One thing that I got to say about your stuff too is the amount of volume you're able to get into a panel in a page. It's freaking awesome, man. Like that's one thing I always have a trouble with is scope, scale, and volume. But like you got it dialed, man. Like this space of spans just looks like it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Well, the thing is, I want to teach. I wanted to teach to people on CG some art stuff because I have my classes. I have online courses. I did from Mexico, but I wanted to give them for free at CG for artists, writers, or I don't know, from beginning to from gesture drawing up until full animation. But the thing is, I don't really have much time right now, and I tried with some streams when about 2 or 3 months ago, and it was pretty much there was no one there. So I dropped that real quick.
Well, one of the things that you could do too is there are draw streams, like there are people just hanging out and drawing and stuff like that. So I'd suggest hopping on one of those, and then that way people can see what you're doing, because it's always a little tricky just to be like, I'm here in the void of the internet. I got stuff, But I can definitely tell that you have a vast wealth of knowledge when it comes to being able to tell stories. Just because working for those guys, you can't help but pick up that knowledge. Like it's just straight up. Even the little bit of storyboards and stuff I did for a couple of years, the amount of stuff I learned from there was like night and day. Like I came in an idiot and I left a smarter idiot.
Well, I'm actually learning a lot from the last episodes of One Punch Man from Murata, because all the final fight against Psychos. I mean, you have seen it's like 300 pages, 400 pages on a single fight, and it's really awesome. But the thing is that Murata has become, his first 30 pages of One Punch Man. I mean, the drawings are incredibly cool, but you can see that the layouts aren't that well thought of.
Well, the
So-
layouts came directly from one, so
Oh yeah. So yeah, they sucked.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
sucked a lot. But his most recent stuff, it's you can see
Ooh.
um, how he puts all his knowledge of animation and storyboards
Yeah,
and
man.
translate it to a page. But the thing I've been fighting a lot to understand before one was how could I translate all my storyboard knowledge and pass it into comics, and I didn't have a really good answer for the last 3 or 4 years until I saw those last pages, and I started just breaking them down, the direction, the screen position, the compositions, and seeing all that, I can give myself an idea of how to do it, how to do that right now, and that's
Yeah,
very
man.
cool.
Yeah. One Punch Man is the manga is definitely one of the ones that I'm paying attention to for storytelling, all the layout stuff, and it is dynamite. Like that's all I can say is it's
It is.
so freaking good. It's again like Black Sad. It's its own realm of like we almost don't deserve this. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. Hey guys, unfortunately I have to get off. Off the stream, I mean.
All right. Yeah. Oh, freezing.
Whoa there.
Yeah, I know it's late at night. You got to go to sleep, but
Yeah, thank God I'm not native for speaking English, so I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
Right.
Ryan, thank you so much for having me here. It's a blast, and you're a cool guy, and yeah, I had a lot of fun, and thanks for having me here, and thanks for watching me ramble the whole time. So thank you guys. Jose, I hope you're doing a great job. I'm gonna back your book for sure.
Thanks
And
a lot, man.
later also. Yeah.
Marinus,
Yeah,
thanks
we'll
for
be
coming
talking,
on, man. Well, we'll all be talking here. It sounds like we're all in the same well of interest here. Like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Listen,
And
if
feel
you
free
want-
to come back on anytime too, man. Like
Oh,
you got
that's great,
stuff
man.
you want to promote, feel free. Just get a hold of me. I'm trying to do these every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So
Okay, I think we can figure something out. If we're going to do something like this, and even if I, coming on a little bit later, I'm open for that. And that's my maybe my advice to Jose as well. I mean, you said it's draining when it comes to streaming. I agree, but you're getting used to it. I mean, somehow you find a way when it comes to streaming. When I was streaming at How to Draw Comics, I was a mess. I had no idea what to do, how to promote myself, and how to talk to people. Because it's so different, you're gonna learn it quickly.
I'm learning it, man.
well,
That's
with the show here, I try to make it like as relaxed as possible. It's just hanging out and shooting the shit and trying to get the promotion, get some eyes on your stuff. I know that other shows are like, tricky to get into because everyone's booking up now, it seems to be like, and there's almost no way that we're going to make it onto the big show. Like you guys might because you have some kick-ass projects, but for me, I'm just like, well, I'm gonna just make my own fucking show with blackjack and hookers and show my own shit.
Well, listen, for me, it doesn't matter if I'm, on the big shows or not. For me, it's that I having a great time for the people who are hosting it and, have a similar interest. I mean, I've been, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't know my comic and Jose's as well. And if that brings eyes to our project, or maybe learn something more about me, and then bring eyes to your channel as well, I'm okay with that. That's great. I'm all for it, man.
And also, as a heads up for the promo, once I put you on the actual promo, rather than JL and Gilbert, I'll be posting that up right away as soon as.
So I'm not Gilbert. I'm not GL. I'm the guy from overseas, from the other side of the world.
Well, I ran out of options. I'm down to the last one, so I should get it right now.
The last one you got it right, so that's kudos to that. Okay, good. Hey, have a great stream, everybody. Until next time.
Right.
Bye.
See ya.
And everybody, go back. Blackheart Manor, which is live and in demand on Indiegogo now. You too can enjoy this Lovecraftian horror zine that will be done in grayscale. So stoked that they're doing grayscale. I'm such a big fan of that.
Yeah, man, me too.
It's like I said, when you showed that one photo of with the God hand and stuff, I was just like, oh man, is the whole comic gonna be like this?
Well, the first 100 pages are like that. I mean, it's gonna be jumping between color, and the flashbacks will be in black and white, so that'll be cool.
Oh, okay,
And
cool. So
yeah,
you got
well,
a different style for the flashbacks?
yes,
Cool. See, I'm doing the exact same thing for mine. For my first book, KAYAS, like
yeah, man.
little knowledge for everyone out there. The first book is a giant flashback, so we don't get to actually meet the main characters until issue 2, because for some reason that's just the way the story worked out in my head.
That's pacing. That's good pacing.
Yeah. Again, you know the pacing. I know the pacing. When it comes out in the volume, it'll make sense. But as like single floppies, it's kind of like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I have to prep people to be like, it's a different type of pacing and storytelling where it's not, a beginning, middle, high point, and end. But it is enough of that, so you will be able to get onto the next one.
Yeah, man. I really hope they get, they start getting projects like that, because I know that Neriam will be something like that, and it's really cool. It's been really popular, and I believe they will eventually warm up to it, and I really like to be a contributing factor to it, that they see our books and they start giving other artists the chance to tell bigger stories.
And it's always tricky too, because with CG, the one awesome thing with it is everyone is willing to give you a chance. Like you had a bit of a rough time coming in because of your style, but the thing is, like, good is fucking good. Like there's a reason why you were hired by the big names, and to me that speaks volumes. And the fact that your work, like, I know what you're going for, so I can see beyond the initial knee-jerk reaction of it being quote unquote cartoony,
Yes.
So one of the things that I'm doing on the show is I'm asking my guests 10 questions. So do you want to lead into that?
Yeah, shoot.
All right. So you kind of already told the origin story, but if you want to do another quick little background, who are you? What's your origin story?
Okay, yeah. Long story short, I'm a comic book artist, storyboard artist. I went into animation just to work on my comics, not the other way around. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to make animation. I want to do fucking comics.
Dude, you are speaking my language, man. Like, I went into tattooing to learn comic books, and then I went into animation to learn storyboards to do comic books.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man.
That is fucking awesome, man. So again, I know exactly, like, you're gaining your skill set in these other areas to come back to the thing that you always wanted to do.
Yeah, and I wanted to get really quick, like real fast, and animation is the way to go. I mean, right now, because everyone, all the other guys I was working on in storyboard are as quick as me, so I don't really see that much of a difference between their projects and mine. But once I get back to comics and I see that people will do only one page a day, it's like my mind doesn't process it like real well. It's like, how do you have all this time to do just one page?
Well, I'll bring this up because I can speak from both sides of the fence on this.
Yes.
Now, me as an artist, being a tattoo artist, the goal is to come with a finished, kick-ass looking, unique piece. Like, that is always the goal of tattooing. So there is a cost of time there, because you always have to be going in and making it look better, and it's for the final piece. But then when you go into storyboards, you have to slap shit together and make it look good.
Yes.
Like, you have your director being like, man, we need these 75 panels done by, now.
Yes.
No. And like, I was sitting there and like, because I'm so used to doing finished artwork, there was a big gap in me trying to learn how to draw quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes,
I can see with, on the other side, there's always that goal of like, I'm going to make my shit look cool. but there isn't that I need this drawn as fast as possible. So I think that's a big disconnect there, because you've been in the industry long enough where you got to bang this stuff out. You're dealing with frames, the rule of thirds, all that stuff, all the tricks that these people are just learning.
Yeah, man. See, yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah, I kind of understand them. But I think there's a lot of potential there. Learning some tricks, some shortcuts,
Mhm.
and I really wish I could help with that. I mean, if
You-
people really
can,
like,
It's
yeah,
like I said, you're a wealth of knowledge. Like just from seeing your stuff, like I know.
thanks, man.
I fucking know.
And I wish one day I'll have the. I mean, I'm working towards it. I made my YouTube channel called CG Learning. I have nothing there, but my goal is one day to translate my classes, all the knowledge I have, because they're like it's like a stairs, like with steps. I
Mhm.
mean, I teach first the fundamentals, then I go with perspective, and the courses are fully fleshed out. These are stuff that people from CalArts have helped me with, and some people from Gobelins, that's a French animation school, and I've been twitching my programs so everyone can just jump right in. And I really I have all this information, and I really would like to help other artists,
Now,
but
I was going to ask you, are those available in your shop here?
no, I was doing them only in Mexico, and I was promoting them only through Facebook.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have them right here, but I'm working um, on some pre-recorded versions in Spanish and English.
Okay.
But I don't know how much will that take, because, well, I'm some with lots of work right now.
Oh yeah, you got your hands full. But always look at it this way too. When you do have them and you have it created and you do put them out there, it is something you can always point toward and have a
Yes.
passive income from. Like,
Yeah, man, that's the goal.
this one seems obvious. Do you work traditional or digital?
Digital all the way.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
not a goddamn caveman.
Oh man, I used to make fun of my fellow tattoo artists forever because they would not hop over to digital. Like,
Yeah.
like this is back in the day when there was no iPads drawn or anything like that, and they'd be sitting there, scrawling on paper, and I'm just like, dude, you would be done this so much quicker. Like all your edits would be done. Like, and he'd be sitting there with tracing paper over layer and layers. Like, no, this
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, I know, man. Actually, I had a tattoo studio on my house, but we closed about 2 days ago.
really?
Yeah, it sucked, but I'm gonna rent that space. But we had a tattoo studio for about 4 years. It was a really good passive income. My friends, I don't have the camera on, but I have a neck tattoo, all my arms tattooed, my hands. So
That's funny. You're more done up than I am. Like if I'm wearing jeans and you'd never know I was tattooing for 20 years.
yeah, some of my friends, my tattoo artist friends, were like that. They were like a complete clean slate, and I was like, yeah, all,
It's the classic. You go into the barber and they're bald, kind of a
yes,
thing.
yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I teach some of my friends. I taught them how to use Photoshop, and they were their speed really boost a lot.
Yeah. No, it finally bridged the gap with the invention of iPad and the iPad pencil. Like it's that classic. The tools have to be so idiot proof that people go, "Oh, I just do this." Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the next question I got coming up here for you is, what do you enjoy doing when you're not working on the project?
Drawing. Yeah, I'm always drawing.
Yep. No, I figured as much, man. With people that do storyboards, you're always drawing. Now, one of your stuff that I found that some storyboard artists fall into the trap of is they can't do finished artwork anymore.
Yes, that's the thing. I've been in love with comics for all my life, with comics, manga, BDs. So yeah, one of the things is that if you see my storyboards, they're like really, really cleaned up. Um, and I mean, I lose a little bit of life, I know, because I don't do it all. I don't sketch that loose. I like to work with a structure and all that kind of stuff. And I did that while doing the storyboards because I didn't never want to lose that finished feeling, of a finished piece. Um, and I don't want to fall into the trap of the storyboard artist, which he just puts out just scribbles and scribbles and scribbles and scribbles. I actually
Mhm.
want to finish and give a nice touch of a nice illustration for every panel if I can.
Man, you are speaking everything right to me.
Yeah, man.
That was one of the things that I was actually fearful of when I got into storyboards was being able to lose my finish line work, my finish line quality that I've worked so hard to get. And I always have like my storyboard supervisor tapping on my shoulders, like, not so clean.
Yes.
Loosen the fuck up.
Yeah, man. I got that for the first 2 years. I know how that feels.
Yeah. Let's see. Next question we got up here. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Boop. What have you learned from problems on this project? Like things that arose, things that curveballs that came up that you didn't know about during the whole thing. Just things that you learned along the way.
Well, as I told you, my first project was Ginger and Luna, was 280 pages, and I finished them. I was so excited to be working on my own stuff that I took three months out of vacations. My first vacations in 10 years, I believe. And I just used them to work on Ginger and Luna. And I finished the whole book. And then I realized people want back really big books. So, yeah, I mean, I learned that the hard way after I finished. I learned about Indiegogo not having PayPal and having to rely on someone else. So yeah, I did my own page. I start to reach out to a lot of people, and one of the things people might not know about is that the environment, the professional environment I was in, it's incredibly, it's a 180 from what CG is, because I mean,
I know it. I know it.
yeah. Yeah, and it's this period of adjustment where, I mean, I get why some artists on the mainstream are a bit like, they don't care about their fans, because you only need to make happy make the editor happy, or the producer, or the
director. Yeah.
You only have to please one people, and that's about it. But here on CG, you have to start talking with people.
Yep.
And most artists are super introverted. I mean, I don't think myself as an introvert, but I do spend lots my whole day just working, and I just talk with my girlfriend. And sometimes when I had the tattoo studio, when I was a little bit tired, I just went down and have a beer and start talking with regular folks who didn't have anything to do with drawings. So I mean, but doing this on stream, and English is not my first language, so
you're doing fine.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, man. But that keeps me. I mean, I cannot draw while talking in English. I cannot do a draw stream right now. I'm not at that point. But if we were talking on Spanish, I could be, just drawing as normal and streaming. But right now, I just have to keep all my focus on my microphone right now, because I don't know.
Well, the drawing is autopilot, ergo your native language is also autopilot, so they're paired together.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I have to make this extra effort to be on streams. That's why I kind of get tired.
Oh yeah,
And
no, and it especially for you trying to express the things you want to express, trying to find the words at the right time.
yes,
Yeah, man. No, I get you.
yeah. So I learned all that from just working on my projects. And on Lumina, I tried to make a comic as small as I could, which was 80 pages. I mean, I cannot go smaller than that. I mean, I have, but I don't like it. I don't really like to work on small stories.
Yeah, it's tricky too with the storytelling format. Like for my first book, the first book is 64 pages, and I was able to like kind of wrap up what I wanted to do in that 64 pages because I was like, this is the prologue to the actual story,
Yes.
and I'm kind of just viewing it as each book 48 pages after that as like 1 to 2 chapters in a
Yes.
manga. That's
Yeah.
how I'm viewing it. Yeah. Let's see. Next question we got coming up here for you is, what jobs have you done other than being an artist?
Well, I've done a lot, man. I mean, I started working as a storyboard artist in advertisement at 18, when I was 18, but I didn't finish high school. So because I wanted to study animation at Gobelins in France, and
Mhm.
I did all my due diligence, and I started messaging with them. I started contacting some artists, but by the time I will have been able to meet all the requirements. They ask you for 2 careers in Mexico. I mean, that was their. They needed high school on France, but the equivalent on that on Mexico were like 2 careers, 2 full careers.
Oh yeah.
So they had an age limit. They had
Oh,
the
okay.
age limit of 21. So if I did all the stuff I was required, I would have been 22 by the time I had all the requirements. So I flat out drop out the school because I said if I don't get to the school, I don't really care about anything else. So I started working as a waiter, as a plumber. I work a lot in construction. Um, what else? I sell store at the flea market. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of stuff, man. Yeah, all small jobs you can think of.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Because it's one of those other things too. Like a lot of people don't realize that you learn all these soft skills in these other professions that actually come in handy when you come into CG.
Yes.
Like literally being a waiter that teaches you how to be nice to people. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
like it's a lot of people don't think about this, but you're interacting with strangers on a daily basis and you're having conversations.
Yeah.
It's some people don't know how to be nice.
Yeah. I'm kind of shocked by that a little bit, but yes, some people don't know how to do it.
Yep. Let's see. Next question we got coming up here. This is a classic one. What superpower would you have and why?
Okay, superpower. Well, the obvious one will be like super speed, like Flash. And
Nice.
yeah, that's about
Oh,
it.
you mean a storyboard artist wants to be even quicker? Don't tell me
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's self-explanatory all into itself, man. Let's see, next one. Have you ever been in a fist fight or a barroom brawl?
Oh yeah, a lot, man. That's one of the reasons I dropped out of high school is because I kind of beat the shit out of a gang leader, and they gang up on me. I got like a broken ribs, my
Ooh.
collarbone.
Oh,
Uh,
damn.
Yeah, and the thing that kind of kept with me the most was like when I was beating the shit out of this guy, I broke my hand, so I couldn't draw for like 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the last time I fought. I had a fight because I really wanted to draw at the time, and I couldn't. So every time I can, you know, walk away from a fight, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think the "Have you been in a fight in a barroom brawl" is always a good one to toss in there because
Yeah, barroom brawl. Yeah, I was in one. We have a little there's this how do you say, it's like a subculture hub, where all the punks or the metalheads,
oh,
all
okay,
the
yeah.
yeah. So there is a bar where all the tribes like come together, and every week there was a fight. So
Yeah, it's like
we
clockwork.
yeah, like clockwork. And this was on my fighting years when I was like 20 to 25. I really love to fight. So I remember that some of the metalheads just threw a bottle to a punk guy,
Yeah.
and they started all his gang just went straight up to beating the shit out of them, and
Yeah.
and just another guy just crashed on our table, and we were like, "Do we do
What the
this?
hell?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck this,
yeah.
yeah." And we were, yeah, at the time, yeah, we were like, "Yeah, let's do this, man. It's fun." And yeah, we got out with bloody noses, and it was fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed my youth.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that I bring this up is, especially if you're actually drawing action scenes, if you haven't been in a fight or a situation like that, you kind of don't know what's really going on.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, totally.
But the second you do know what's going on, it gives you a different appreciation for when you actually see action, like done properly, man, and done well. So
what people who do fight don't really, well, the thing I kind of notice the most is that you don't get tired of punching. You get tired of the anticipation of, you're just as stressed as to see who makes the first move.
Yep.
And often you just feel shivers maybe in your body. You start feeling all the warmth. Just
the adrenaline's going.
Yeah, the adrenaline, and sometimes you feel your fist shaking, and when you and it happened to me sometimes that when you throw a punch, you don't even feel how hard are you throwing the punch, how light are you throwing that punch.
Yeah, you're just throwing it. Yeah,
you just throw it, and all the hard stuff, I think it's on the anticipation before the fight.
Yeah, my old body. Yeah, my old body piercer, he used to be a bouncer, and he was like, he was a short guy, but there is no way in hell I'd ever want to mess with him, because whenever stuff went down, he was always calm. Like, he's been in that many fights where it's like just putting on a shirt. It's just another day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is terrifying when a full on like bar brawl breaks out. And he's just like, here we go again. And he clears out the place. Like he talks about this one time, like 3 different bars got out at once, and this massive street ball broke out. And and all of his crew got caught outside in this, and all the cops are coming. And so he's just like, oh crap, like I got to get my crew back inside so like we don't get implicated in this.
Yeah.
So there's everybody fighting. And like he's thinking this, and he's like, punching people left, right, and center, and he accidentally punches a guy in the side of the neck, and he drops, and he's like, right, throat shots. So he goes around and he starts karate chopping people in the throat, like just like whack, 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 and people are like, and then grabs all of his guys, drags them back into the bar. They lock the door, and literally as soon as they do that, the cops like show up and like start arresting everybody.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Yeah, so I come into work and he's just like, my hands hurt. And I was like, what's going on, man? And then he tells me, I was like, what the hell? Let's see. Next question we got for you here. How many slices of pizza are you capable of eating in one sitting?
The whole damn pizza, man.
The whole damn pizza, you too, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty straightforward. This one I always find interesting. What scene from a non-horror movie scared you as a kid?
Okay, let's see. There's a ton, man. There's a ton of stuff. I mean, Return to Oz, the movie, was really fucking scary, man.
All the heads.
It wasn't a horror movie.
It's fucking creepy as hell, man.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell was happening when I saw that, and I was like, okay, I think I have a weird boner right now.
You got a fear boner as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah, it was incredibly creepy. So that's the one that pops right into my head.
Okay, awesome. And the final question I got for you here: if you were about to be executed, death by snoo snoo, what 5 foods would you have as your last meal?
That's a good one. Whichever 5 girls are in front of me, man.
Oh no, not 5 girls. 5 foods would you have as your last meal? Not 5 girls.
Yeah, I'll have the 5 girls.
You'll have the 5 girls. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you're all gonna kill me. I'll have all of you to eat right now.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. You know what, Jose? Had an absolute blast talking with you. I hope everybody out there that gets to see this help support you in any which way you can. CG is, like you said, it's calmed down a little bit. People are a little bit more relaxed. Anybody who's out there that is signed up, please sign up for the mailing list. He has it available on Indiegogo here, and he also has it available at JoseGarciaArtworks.com, and he has 2 mailing lists. That way you're not going to be able to miss it when he goes live. As we see here, launching soon in 20 days, 20 hours, and 28 minutes. Lumina
That's
VHOX.
a bit outdated. I'm pushing the launch until April.
Oh, okay. Well, never
mind. At like 30 days to that.
Okay. Then it's golden. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But no, yeah, man, had an absolute blast talking with you, man. You're a wealth of knowledge that I think a lot of people should get a hold of, because I know that you know stuff inside and out. There's a lot of stuff that you can show some people that, you know, it's going to boost them exponentially and very quickly.
Well, if you give me the chance, I'd love to help the community. I love to help anyone who wants to talk with me. Just DM me. I'll always get back at you. But I mean, today I will be working on commissions, so I won't be online for all day. But DM me, whoever are in the chat, if you want to talk with me. I'm always available, and I'm always I'm here to serve. I'm here to help people.
Anywhere else that people can find you? Any other spots? Instagram, Twitch, anything like that? Or
no, pretty much just Twitter and my site. If you don't know what my Twitter is, if you go to the pre-launch page at Indiegogo, at the bottom of the page, you will see the Twitter. The bottom, and that will link you right up to my Twitter page.
Awesome. Well, yeah, man, we've been going for a while here. Been going for like over 2 hours. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Jose, again, super awesome talking with you. Anybody who's out there, feel free to sign up to the mailing list, support this project when it comes out, Lumina VHOX. Also sign up to everything that we got going on here with BLACKHART MANOR. He's in demand right now, so go support them. And also give some love my way. I got KAYAS, Story of Blood and Stone, issue 1 and 2. The mailing list is up right now on Indiegogo. And that's going to be it. I'm just going to end off with the trailer for issue 1 here. So anybody who's out there, feel free to share this. Get out there, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And thank you again.
Long ago, the earth was formed, and the heart of our sun was forged in the crucible of the cosmos. In a realm where might, magic, and high adventure supreme. Let me tell the tale of a rider who is being hunted down. Her cargo is the key to her freedom and her damnation. She blazes a trail across lands that use her pursuers in the crystal labyrinth known as the Dragon Pass. The ripple of this moment cascades into a chain of events that will doubt the lives of all in the realm, especially Indiegogo.